And I'm Melissa Tamplin. We will check out your Sunday forecast in just a few minutes. But first, today's top story.
And prosecutors hope to have more answers than questions once the medical examiner releases an autopsy report. Today, the UN called on nations around the world to help deliver these goods to the devastated countries. It is a race against time as the need grows greater with each day that passes.
Soldiers say having an optimistic attitude is what helps them get through this time away from home. And after Thanksgiving dinner in Iraq, they ended their day with sports and a concert.
And once again, terms of that agreement will be announced after the contract is ratified by the union. If that takes place tomorrow, buses could roll out as early as Friday. Meanwhile, police will continue to make arrests tonight, and they say the success of this sting operation has them planning many more like it in the future. The teens were arrested and later released here at police headquarters. They face up to 4 counts of criminal mischief, and if convicted, could face up to 6 months in jail and have to pay up to $1,000 in fines. The goods were seized at one of the largest flea markets in the New York area, but police say counterfeiting is big business across the city, and consumers need to be aware of its dangers. Time is running out for family members of World Trade Center victims who wish to give their opinions on a World Trade Center memorial. I'm Melissa Tamplin. I'll explain up next in a live report. And now the ratification process is underway. Over the next 14 days, labor union members will review these cuts and decide whether or not they will accept them in order to make this deal final. The one thing that neighbors in this New Braunfels neighborhood tell us is that they are counting their blessings tonight. They did survive that flood back in '98. Today they're looking at the fact that no one in their neighborhood has been injured or been killed. Residents in South Central Texas have braced for what may be the worst. You can see behind me flooded waters here are what they're waking up to this morning. I'm Melissa Tamplin. Details up next in a live report.
What about if my brother passes away too? What's going to happen with this 3 little girl?
Dina Menendez is trying to make sense of a devastating fire that took the life of her sister-in-law and severely burned her brother and 3 nieces.
Not fair. It's not fair at all. It's not fair for my brother. You don't have idea how my brother is doing right now. It's not an easy situation.
36-year-old Flor Pineda tried to escape the flames from her 3rd-floor apartment.
When she tried to get out, she was trying to put her hand like this and let her finger freeze over here.
But Flor was unable to make it out safely. The fire that started in a 2nd-floor apartment quickly spread because the occupants inside fled without closing their door or calling 911.
The first thing they thought about it was save their lives, and they didn't kill anybody else.
How do you explain that? That he just walked away, the fire started, he left the door open, he walked away, he don't say anything. I mean, how do you explain that?
Firefighters say those mistakes were crucial. 31 people, including 6 firefighters, were injured in the blaze.
Time is of the essence. Give us all the time we need to get here fast, to put water on the fire, to make searches, to remove people from untenable positions.
The children and their father, Alex Sandoval, remain in critical condition. 3-year-old Carolina, 4-year-old Alexandra, and 7-year-old Naomi all suffered from 3rd-degree burns. Doctors fear at least one of them and their father may lose their eyesight. The occupant of the 2nd-floor apartment escaped without injury and is reportedly planning to return to Ecuador.
I want him to pay for what he's doing. You know, he can't just walk and just let people. You can't let people doing stuff like that. It is my brother and his wife, and then the 3 little children. He had to pay. That's all I can say.
Residents of that 2nd-floor apartment were unavailable to be reached today for comment. Meanwhile, the district attorney's office has conducted an investigation. They say at this time there appears to be no criminal activity, and this fire appears to be a tragic accident. With outstretched hands and open hearts, members of religious communities across the area gave generously to tsunami victims. In morning mass, the Catholic Church passed around a 2nd offering specifically for relief efforts. And at a Buddhist ceremony in Elmhurst, thousands of dollars were collected for victims in Thailand.
The unity of the Thai people here are very strong, and at this time of emergency.
It's a unity that can be felt among people of all faiths. The senior rabbi of the Hebrew Institute was joined by others outside of the Indonesian consulate to show support for that country.
You're not alone. We're with you. The whole world may be a narrow bridge, as one of our great rabbis would say, but the main thing is don't be afraid. God willing, we'll be able to overcome.
There is none like you. The foundation of faith is what many people are standing on to overcome and deal with the tsunami disaster.
The collection of money, but also in spreading your love and your good feelings and peaceful thoughts will help somebody spiritually from the inside as well.
In the midst of such tragedy, it's the generosity of giving that religious leaders pray will deliver hope to a devastated region.
Such devastation, and that out of that has come beauty. It's the beauty of people opening their hearts.
In the Buddhist ceremony alone, more than $11,000 was collected. It is truly amazing to see the outpouring of support for the tsunami victims.
Around 11 a.m., Fort Worth rescue crews were called to this home. The problem? A man was stuck inside the chimney.
Apparently the person was locked out of the house and felt that they wanted to go through the chimney to get back inside.
For more than an hour, fire crews carefully hammered their way in. Finally, 35-year-old Mark Vaughn made it out safely. He says looking back now, he probably should have listened to his mother-in-law, who said there was a better way to get inside.
It looked like I could get in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm kind of pudgy, but I knew I could fit through it. Well, I did fit through it when I got down there, and the opening looked like I would be able to get through it. But when I got down there, it wouldn't let me through. The angle was too bad.
And the good news for this man is that he doesn't have to pay for this rescue effort. The estimated cost for fire officials to spend this amount of time on a rescue like this one is $7,000. And Vaughn says he's learned a few other valuable lessons.
Listen to your mother-in-law. Don't climb down chimneys. No matter what, they make them to where you can't do that. Otherwise, anybody would be able to break into it any time. And probably that I need to lose weight.
In the midst of this bizarre situation, at least he's found a way to have a sense of humor about it all.
She was telling me not to do it, but I'm stupid.
Perhaps the 4 rescue workers who responded to the scene have found a way to laugh as well. Melissa Tamplin, Channel 8 News, Fort Worth. On April 7, 2003, Marine Corporal Jesus Marty Medellin died in a battle just outside Baghdad. 1 year later, his family is sharing the words from his last letter home.
Dear Mom and Dad, I love you. I love you so much it hurts.
Marty Medellin's dream was to serve his country. Although he prayed for the best, he knew the risk was real.
If you so happen to receive this letter, then something went terribly wrong.
News of Marty's death was especially difficult for his 2 younger brothers, something he predicted in his letter.
Tell them gently that I will not come home.
His lieutenant colonel suggested each Marine write a final letter home. Freddie Medellin hated the thought of receiving a final goodbye.
I just told him I hope I never get it. And he told me the same thing. Well, I hope you never do, but I have to tell you that it's there.
On the back of the letter, Marty assured his parents he would see them on the other side.
I know I'll see him again when we get to heaven. But still, just knowing that he's not here is very hard, very hard.
Well-wishers continue to send cards, letters, and memorabilia. Although nearly a year has passed, the pain for the Medellins is still fresh, and tears flow easily as they accept their final goodbye.
Mom and Dad, I have to end this letter now. Tell my brothers goodbye and kiss them for me. Goodbye, Mom and Dad. And remember, goodbyes are forever. It says your loving son, Corporal Jesus Martin Antonio Medellin.
Melissa Tamplin, Channel 8 News, Fort Worth.
Good morning to you. I'm Melissa Tamplin. Thank you for being with us on this Sunday morning. In the news this morning, not guilty by reason of insanity is the verdict for an East Texas mother who bludgeoned to death her 2 young sons. After 7 hours of deliberation, a jury acquitted Deanna Laney yesterday. Laney admitted stoning her children. Jurors believe she was out of her mind when she committed the crime and decided she was not legally responsible. Well, the presidential campaign season is underway with a new round of campaign ads on television. McKinney police are looking for a 1999 tan pickup truck with heavy chrome detailing as they try to solve a quadruple murder. 4 victims were found at a house on Truett Street, all shot in the head. 2 of them were members of the North McKinney High School football team. One of the victims drove the missing truck.